Beautiful. Everybody get to the Brewers game today.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home.
Whoa! Good morning and welcome in. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Thunder and Charlie. Trevor and Josh are in a mailbox somewhere. We cut their butt. No, I'm just kidding. They are fine. They're just not here today. It is me and we're going to ask the question, Charlie. What are we doing here today?
Oh.
We are going to ask not existentially.
Oh, okay.
Like, what are we doing here? How did this third rock away from this burning sun happen to provide for life, at least in our in our the way we envision life? There could be life on Mars. They're just on a different spectrum that we don't even see or understand.
But we're not answering that.
No, exactly.
No, we're not scientists.
We're going to ask why we're here at 6 a.m. on Memorial Day. And before we start, and before we talk sports today, and before we talk about Wemby and the Brewers and dollar hot dogs and all those great things, a quick reminder that Memorial Day is about remembering the men and women who gave everything for our country. We are grateful, so enjoy the games, the cookouts, and the day. Hopefully you've enjoyed the weekend to this point. But let's remember why we have it. Memorial Day is for those who never made it home. Let us remember the fallen and honor the sacrifice behind the freedom that we enjoy. So thank you to all those who gave the greatest sacrifice so that we can talk sports today, and so that we can watch sports today, and so some of us can have dollar hot dogs today at AmFam Field. Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm like more energized this morning than I thought I would be.
Yeah, that's a little wonky.
I'm on my second cup of coffee, so that might help a little bit too. But even then, like waking up, I woke up at 4:30. I was right out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the moment my alarm turns on, I sit up like the Gravedigger, or not the Undertaker.
No, the Undertaker, yes.
The Gravedigger's the monster truck. I guess I could be like that. Maybe
true.
That gets up weird.
Or Gilbert Brown.
That's true too.
Gilbert Brown was the Gravedigger. Yeah.
But the Undertaker, I get up like that, and it felt good. I felt good this morning.
All right. We are already going on tangents this morning. You ready?
All right, let's hear it.
This may explain a lot about, when I was a freshman in college, I had a girlfriend still back in high school, but I didn't have, I didn't have a college girlfriend or anything like that, obviously, because I had a girlfriend and I'm a loyal kind of guy. I had an Undertaker poster on the ceiling over my bed. Not on the wall in my dorm room, but on the ceiling, protecting me as I slept. Who better?
I was going to say, nobody better than the
Undertaker. Than the Undertaker, right?
Was he like staring at you in the poster?
So
you were going to sleep, you were eye-to-eye.
It was like with the lightning coming out like from the background with the black rimmed hat and just like that stare.
Was your girlfriend not visiting you?
She didn't visit that all. I mean, she was in Milwaukee and I was in Madison, and she visited every once in a while. But I'm
sure my girlfriend would make me take that poster down.
Yeah, it was. I think partly it was on the ceiling, like people couldn't see it. because they weren't looking. It was my room was kind of off in the corner of our door. Like we had a weirdly shaped dorm room, and it was off in the around the corner. So anyway, that's tangent number 1 here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Shout out to Trevor and Josh. They're here. I think they're both here tomorrow.
I believe so. I think they're both supposed to be back tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. Because they were not here. They were here together on Wednesday last week, and that was it.
I was to say, otherwise they've been,
because Brandon was in every day, and then I was in on Friday. Yeah, I was here Friday. I don't feel quite as chipper as you do. I feel okay. I woke up at 3:30 this morning.
Okay.
I kind of want to save this for Tommy at 8. But maybe we can revisit it, right? There was a weird sound buzzing outside my window. We're on the second floor. That maybe I could say it was a drone, but it had a high pitched. It had. If there's a chance, everybody, I'm just warning everybody right now. There's a chance that there are aliens monitoring us right now. And that this morning at 3:30, I heard them with their initial approach, and that they're going house to house, and I mean, it sounded like an otherworldly sound. It didn't sound like the drone of a drone. It didn't sound like the buzz or the whir of something. And I swear I heard something weird, and it was not of this earth. So I'm throwing that out there. Charlie, have you ever had an encounter?
I can't say I've ever had an encounter. I don't know. Maybe people I've seen shows where the aliens hide as people, so you never know.
That's true.
You never know.
All right, let's get to it. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports. We are the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We are broadcasting. Our studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, where I was Friday night. Yep, we'll get to that. So tease. We'll get to that Friday night.
I thought you were going to tie the alien thing into Victor Wembanyama. That's
no,
not where I thought you were going.
No, that would have been great. No, we got to start with the Brewers. And I'm going to spin immediately why what happened at AmFam Field this year is a positive. Man, I say that like Mike McCarthy. Was a positive for our Milwaukee Brewers. The phone number is 414-677-1250. I know a lot of you during the regular week like to text into the show. I don't know if you're awake today. If you're awake today, if you're listening today, send us a text. Name, check in where you're from. We'd love to hear from you, whether you have a sports take or not, whether you have a Memorial Day take or not. And if you want to say something, feel free. But if you want to just check in, roll call 414-677-1250 on this Memorial Day. Partly because Charlie and I want to know if anybody's listening. Is anybody up? Is anybody, are we doing deliveries this morning? Are we on the road? Are the truck drivers there? Who's working today? Are you in the service industry? Are you policemen or fire officers or whoever that might be? Are you out working the beat? And you want to check in? Are you delivering a newspaper? I mean, somebody still throws the Journal Sentinel on people, or the Post Crescent, or the Press Gazette, or whatever awesome.
Keep that alive.
Right. I did that.
Yeah.
It was never my full time, but my buddy down the street, Dick Scandrette, he was the paper boy for the neighborhood, and I was his backup. So I did it a lot. If he was out of town, or if he was on vacation, or if he was sick, it was
Dick Scandrette might be the most 70s, 80s kid's name.
Dickie Scandrette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Stranger Things character
for
sure.
Oh, right. That's when I grew up. That's my people. I am here to tell you that what happened at AmFam Field this year is a positive. That it is that, yes, the Brewers lost 2 of 3. Yes, the Brewers had a great opening Friday night, and then Saturday night scored 3 runs in the first. And I'm at a one of our very good friends' bat mitzvah party. So we're there's dinner, there's food, there's dancing, and we all are checking my phone. And it's 3-0. We're in I turned to my friend, the Cubs fan, my buddy Ryan, and I said, Brewers are never going to lose again. They are literally never going to lose a baseball game again. And then pretty quickly it was 4-3. And then, obviously the wheels fell off at the end. That didn't really matter. The game was over. Charlie, you know this answer.
Yep.
I'm not putting you on the spot.
All right.
What was the Brewers record against the Dodgers in the regular season last year.
They were undefeated, weren't they, against the Dodgers?
Yes, they were. They were 6-0. I knew you knew that.
I did.
They won 3 games in Milwaukee in early July. And then right after the All-Star break, I believe the Brewers were in LA and they swept the Dodgers in LA for a 6-0 sweep. Charlie, I'll bet you know this one too.
Right. Let's see if I can go
What
2 for 2.
was the Brewers' record against the Dodgers in the playoffs last year?
I'm pretty sure not as good. They didn't get swept, did they?
Yeah, it was a sweep.
I thought they got one. I was thinking maybe they stole one. Yeah.
They almost stole that first one. If Bryce Strang just leaned his knee in to tie that game on that hit by pitch, they could have. Okay, so the Brewers went 6-0 against the Dodgers in the regular season, and then 0-4 in the playoffs. So, was there any correlation between regular season success and postseason success for the Milwaukee Brewers against the Dodgers? No. Right? There was none. And that's why I think what happened at AmFam Field is good news for Brewers fans. As much as I would have loved the Brewers who have swept the Yankees this year and have swept the Cubs this year, to have swept the Dodgers, sometimes a little dose of reality is a good thing. Sometimes keeping things in perspective is a good thing. And while, again, there's no correlation between the regular season and postseason, in my warped mind, I'm thinking, well, if the Brewers swept the Dodgers last year and it didn't work, maybe lose some to the Dodgers. maybe the struggle, maybe it's better to struggle and then figure things out against this team as opposed to going in, having gone 6-0. And I don't think they went into the postseason last year with any sort of false sense of security. I don't think anybody thought the Dodgers weren't as great as they were, but you don't need to sweep a team because there's no correlation. I almost want the Brewers to struggle a little bit against the Dodgers. Charlie, why am I crazy?
I think you're a little crazy because the main reason they didn't succeed as well in the postseason against the Dodgers as I think we hoped they would wasn't really because I think they swept the regular season Dodgers. It's because they just had the Chicago Cubs in front of them. Like, that series took so much out of the Milwaukee Brewers, all the energy, all the fight that they had. You saw it just kind of leak out of them in that Dodgers series, especially in that first game when it didn't end up the way that they wanted it to. You saw it deflate this team because they were already mostly deflated after using up and spending all that energy against the Chicago Cubs. I think going into the season, yes, to some degree, you're right. I think it's good to lose to these teams and kind of see where you're at compared to these Los Angeles Dodgers. But at the same time, last postseason, Yamamoto was electric, and he was just going to be electric. Shohei Ohtani was phenomenal in that 4th game of the series, and he was just going to be like, you can't plan ahead for those types of players. You just have to beat them. And I think the Brewers got so tired and so worked out and worn out against the Chicago Cubs that you just can't beat that much down.
I hear what you're saying. And there's no doubt that Chicago Cubs series took everything out of the Brewers and game 1, because game 1, they had a real shot to come back. And if they come back in that game, and that's the type of game that they won 70 times last year. Right? Not necessarily being down in the 9th, but they won a ton of games being behind late in games and
winning off savvy baseball too in those games.
Yeah, exactly. So they win game 1 and maybe they lose in 5, but maybe they win that series. Maybe it goes 7. Who knows what that series looks like if they're able to eke that one out. And I think what you said is true, plus what I said is true, equals the truth. I think the Cubs series plus game 1 equaled season over. Like, once they didn't get that win, once they weren't able, they loaded the bases in the bottom of the 9th, down 2-1, and Bryce works a full count, but also, everybody in the stadium was like, you got to let that ball hit you. Like, what are you doing getting out of the way? Once that didn't happen, they just didn't have a whole lot left, coupled with awful hitting, coupled with questionable pitching decisions. Well, we're in a new year. It's 2026. The Dodgers just came to town. I'm not gonna harp too much on how helpful your Chicago Cubs were this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
They're so bad.
dude, what is up? And I'm like, so I said this on Friday. I hate the Dodgers more than the Cubs.
Uh-huh.
I do. Like, I don't, and I might be a weird Brewers fan. I don't hate the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I dislike them as our rival, but maybe it's because, we've talked about this. Like, my daughter played basketball at Whitefish Bay, and so I see Craig in a different light.
Right.
And but I don't hate and maybe part of it is because growing up a Red Sox fan, like, there's a little bit of a kinship between Red Sox and Cubs fans. Like, those were the two franchises that had curses and were, the Cubs hadn't won since 2008. The Red Sox hadn't won since 2018. Like, that was there was something there. I don't like the Cubs, but I don't hate them the same way I hate the Dodgers. But what is going on with the Cubs right now? Like, and the Astros stink.
Yeah, they're not a good baseball team. Their pitching has been one of the worst units in all of baseball, if not the worst unit in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Their bats have been phenomenal. Like, if the Astros can get 1 to 2 starting pitchers into that rotation that can stick around consistently without getting hurt, they're a really good baseball team. Mm-hmm. So I think it's hard to look at that and say, oh yeah, the Cubs are struggling as bad as they are, without acknowledging the fact that the Houston Astros just match up well against the Chicago Cubs, a team where their pitching is not very good because of the injuries that they've suffered in that unit. So they have to make it up with the bats. And when they spent all that energy having 2 10-game win streaks earlier on in the season, you're going to get burnt out at this point really early on against teams that probably are better than what their records say up to this point.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law talking text line. The Cubs have lost 8 in a row. They lost 3 to the Astros, obviously lost 3 to the Brewers before that. They were 18-5 at home before losing these last 6 at home.
Absolutely electric. It was crazy.
Right. They were unbelievable at home. So the Cubs have 2 10-game winning streaks, and they're 29-24. That's a weird record. That's got to be one of the craziest anomalies in the history of sports.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that and the Cleveland Cavaliers having an 8-9 record in the playoffs right now and still being alive somehow.
Right, in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yep. And we'll get to some NBA talk for sure today. Tim Allen's going to join us around 7:40. Tommy Wirtz, if he wakes up, which he says he's like an early riser now, is going to pop in for basically the entire 8 o'clock hour and just kind of hang out and do his thing because, doing the leadoff show and the Potawatomi postgame shows, not enough for Tommy. Tommy's got to go 3-peat today on Memorial Day.
He needs the normalcy in his
he does.
lineup, He's got to have the 3 shows, all 3 of them.
He needs the reps, that's for sure. The Brewers at 30-20 enter Memorial Day, 1.5 games ahead of the Cardinals, 2.5 games ahead of the Cubs, and then also 1.5 games behind the Dodgers for one of the buys, as the Dodgers lead the West and the Braves way ahead in the East. The Braves had they lost a couple to the Nationals over the weekend, but they're still the best record in the National League. Deuces 14 on YouTube. I'm working today. Mary Goldbeck says, good morning from Wake Forest, retired full-time RVer. Love that, Mary. I love when you check in from all over different places. Please continue to do that. Deuces, if you want to let us know where you are, you go right ahead. And we jump over to the talk and text line. Vito in the 920 is here. This is Bubba in Milwaukee on my way to dialysis. Go Brewers, go Bears. Who is he, Charlie? Charlie, is that your alter? Yeah.
Sounds like
well, Bubba, hopefully everything goes well at dialysis. Thank you for the information. New Jersey, Pete in Milwaukee. Sad to hear of Charlie Moore's passing. Let's go, Miz and Brewers. 2 things there. Yes, Miz is pitching today. We'll get to that. And Charlie Moore, longtime catcher and left fielder for the Milwaukee Brewers. Back when, I guess catchers still play, usually they're at first base. That was a thing in the 80s. Catchers played left field.
just like consistently.
I feel like yes. And the reason I feel that way is because that's what Carlton Fisk did.
Yeah.
Carlton Fisk was a catcher, all-star catcher for the Red Sox, then went to the White Sox and was an all-star catcher with the White Sox. But as he got older, his knees couldn't take it as much. And they didn't move him to first. They moved him to left field.
Well, I also feel like now I'm thinking about it, that's not the craziest. Like it still
Right.
kind of has like Kyle Schwarber went through that when he was going through the Cubs
Yep,
system up as
good
a
point,
catcher. He
yep.
was playing left field. And then like even more recently, Dalton Rushing for the LA Dodgers came up as a catcher left fielder. That was his
Okay.
rotation, not
Yeah.
catcher first base.
So tons of more texts. People are texting in where they're from. Remember, it's Roll Call Monday, Roll Call Memorial Day. Let us know where you're listening from, whether you want to chime in on the Brewers talk, whether you want to chime in on some NBA talk or not. Feel free to chime in. It is Dollar Hot Dog Day at American Family Field. We got to talk about that as well. Tons to get to on today's show. My name is Mitch Nellis. I forget. We asked you this, Charles, your middle name, and I totally forget because we've been going big, especially when Mason's not in, with Mitchell Aaron Nellis and Thomas Carl Wirtz.
So
I like the full names. All right, are you willing to share it?
Yeah, I'm
I know
sure.
it's an old school name, and I guessed Horatio, and it wasn't Horatio.
It is not Horatio.
Yep.
It's Charles Ross Thaddeus.
Ross
I have
Thaddeus.
two middle names, yes.
So, were your parents big Marvel fans?
No, is that like a Marvel thing?
We're going to talk about that when we come back. He's Charlie Usen. I'm Mitch Nellis. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports. I'm Mitch Nellis. He is Charlie Usen. We are in today for Trevor and Josh. Hoping everyone a meaningful Memorial Day. People were talking over the weekend, like, you don't really say Happy Memorial Day. That's kind of so we decided on meaningful.
Yeah,
Have a meaningful Memorial Day. And that doesn't mean you can't have barbecues, and it doesn't mean you can't do fun things, but just take a moment, right? And remember, like, Memorial Day literally means memorial, like remembering those who passed. And it's not just remembering those who passed, it's remembering those who passed in battle, defending this country, like defending our freedoms, defending our ability to tell everybody that Obama's the worst and Trump's the worst and everybody's the worst. Like, we're not talking politics here. Everybody's the worst. We all agree. I'm the worst. Like, come on. I mean, let's be honest. But the fact that we have a voice, like the fact that we have the ability to get in the car and go get groceries or clothes or whatever the thing, the basic necessities. And yes, that is that, or, you know, just our basic inalienable rights, that the United States says we have in our country, and every country's different and has different rules. But thankfully, we live in this country where whatever your thoughts are on what's going on, and we know these are tumultuous times. I think I can say that apolitically, right? I think anybody can agree that it'd be, you know, I'm of the thought that, like, just put your arm around somebody, just, you know, make kindness contagious. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
So let's make kindness contagious on this Memorial Day. Hopefully the Brewers, though, will not make kindness contagious. Hopefully they will bring the beat down to the St. Louis Cardinals. And Charlie, you said something during the break to me where you almost think this Dodgers series got lost a little bit because of the Cubs series and the Cardinal series. Before we get to that point specifically, I want to pick on a point that you talked about earlier. And many people agree. Once the Brewers beat the Cubs in the divisional series, they were spent last year. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line if you want to chime in on this Brewers conversation, or I'd rather if you just check in. If you want to check in, roll call, where you're listening from, that'd be great as well. So whatever you want to do with that talk and text line, you go ahead. Do you think there's any truth to the Brewers just swept the Cubs last week? And did they have a little bit of a letdown at American Family Field this weekend because of the emotions of going to Wrigley and sweeping the Cubs? Like, is that just the nature of the Brewers Cubs beast right now?
I think to some degree, yes. I also think, though, that the Dodgers were just healthy going into the series, and a lot of last season when they were playing them in the regular season, the Dodgers just weren't at full strength. It was always the Brewers felt like they had an upper hand just with the IL department. And I think this game, they went into it with the underhand. They had less players overall than the Dodgers did. The Dodgers have their entire lineup out there ready to go outside of like Edwin Diaz in their bullpen. And that's a whole nother situation. But they have everybody else, and they were ready to go and take on this Milwaukee Brewers team. And I think, yes, the Brewers probably were spent after sweeping the Cubs, but at the same time, I think they were more spent after the first game of the Dodgers series, where you have this big momentum, this big offensive push, and then it just kind of dies out for two games. And we've seen that with the Brewers over the past couple of years, really no matter who they're playing. If you have 3 to 4 games of this offense being at its peak form, I can almost guarantee every single time that the next 3 games are going to have zero offense from the Milwaukee Brewers. I think you saw that happen here against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think it might have happened against almost any team, even if it wasn't the Dodgers.
I think another part of that is 2 words: Gasser and Sproat. And I like, I don't know if I like Robert Gasser or not. I like Brendan Sproat a lot. I actually am on board. We're going to play some Pat Murphy. He's saying some real significant praises for Brendan Sproat after the game yesterday. I like Brendan Sproat. I really like Shane Drowan as well. But it just wasn't there for them as needed to be yesterday. Now, granted, the Brewers scored 1 run, so it didn't end up mattering. What mattered more was the night before when the Brewers did get that 3-0 lead in the first inning. Now, the Brewers didn't score again. So,
Yeah,
credit
but
to the
like,
Dodgers.
3 runs is where I think you kind of have to be. It's that Mendoza line of the scoring runs for a lot of these MLB teams nowadays.
Because when the Brewers get to 4, they're unbeatable.
It's almost guaranteed every single time. I think you got to be able to get to 3. And for a Brewers team that, despite being one of the worst in the league with home runs, is still a top 10 team when it comes to scoring runs in general. So show that you can do that on a more consistent basis.
Yep. So we're going to get to those pitchers in a second. Want to give a couple more shout outs on the talk and text line. Good morning, guys. Bill from Iron River, up and listening, enjoying a cup of coffee as I listen to your program. Thank you so much, Bill. 414 chimes in. I didn't expect, this is, let's see, that's Jeff in Fox Point. Yep. I didn't expect the Brewers to be 30-20 at this point. Keep winning series, get to at least 90 wins so the division is ours, and beat the Dodgers in the NLCS. Also, Miz will make the Cards look foolish today and strike out 12. He's walking the dog before working out today.
Nice.
Nicely done. Appreciate
double
that.
workout, man.
Yeah.
Usually the walking the dog is the workout for me.
I mean, come on. That's exercise-ish. It's exercise adjacent, right?
Yeah.
Scotty Tiffany says a failed litmus test for the Brewers this series. Pitching offense, frustrating to watch. I actually thought yesterday's game was going to be exciting. It was not. The Dodgers are becoming as much as a nemesis as Dallas was to the Packers in the 90s. I actually think that's pretty much the perfect analogy. It's the team in your conference, in your league, that's not in your division, that's the big bad, right? And the Cowboys were the big bad throughout the 90s.
But wasn't there like more like true malice between the Cowboys and Packers? Like there was like, I feel like with the Dodgers and Brewers, yes, it is that big bad like you're talking
on the
about.
field, you mean?
Yeah, like wasn't there like actual like animosity between the two teams to some degree? Like the Brewers and Dodgers don't feel like you don't have that.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. The Brewers and Dodgers don't seem to have that fighting like there's no vitriol in the rivalry.
It doesn't feel like Brewers Cubs.
Right. We need like when the Brewers go to LA, gotta hit somebody.
Right.
Just hit somebody. Like somebody asked, I was doing what was I think on Friday when we were doing the show with Trevor and we had Tim Allen on, and Trevor asked him, "Hey, did you just hit Shohei first batter Friday? Did you just throw it at his
set the tone,
hit him in the tush, just nail him on that on that cheek." And we kind of agreed, no, you don't do that. But maybe
I think what makes it hard with the Dodgers, and especially like a Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, Mookie Betts, people just love them, and they don't really do anything controversial. They don't say anything controversial. They go out there and do their job. They're pretty likable for the most part. I think it's starting to help other teams that like Dalton Rushing is getting up on this Dodgers team and getting actual wins because he's really annoying and people seem to not like him, especially fan bases. So maybe that gives you a guy to hit. But I think if you go out there and hit Shohei Ohtani with the first pitch, you just look like the bad guys, which maybe isn't a bad thing. But this Brewers team thrives on being the good guys, being the underdogs.
Being the underdog, yeah. I think there's absolutely something to that. 414-677-1250 if you want to chime in, 414-677-1250. I did want to get to this comment by Pat Murphy on Brandon Sproat. Brandon Sproat pitched yesterday for the Milwaukee Brewers. His line didn't end up looking great. Part of that is because inherited runners. Drone came in and gave some runs up. But let's see, as I bring up the box score. Nope, that's the recap. Then I hit box score. Brandon Sproat, 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 89 total pitches. And I will say, as that top of the 5th came about, he gave up that infield single to Mookie Betts, which I did not see. So I don't know. Did you see that at all?
I did see that.
Was it just a slow chopper?
No, so it was David Hamilton making a amazing diving stop to get
Okay.
the ball, stands up, bobbles the ball,
Got it.
and then Mookie Betts gets
What
to
do you?
first base.
I mean, Betts can run though. I mean,
he might have got him. It would have been close, but it would have been a probably
Joey get him?
replay type of situation.
does Joey get him?
Yeah. Like again, David Hamilton made an amazing play to get the ball in the
Okay.
first place, like diving, laying full out extension, just getting up, just lost control.
So the problem wasn't that. The problem was the walk to Freddie Freeman.
Mhm.
And then Sproat came out, so he left 2 men on.
Mhm.
He had only given up the 1 run, but then immediately Kyle Tucker triples right down the right field line, so Betts and Freeman score. And so as we look again at Brandon Sproat and what he's done this year, 5.84 ERA. When you look at the rest of the Brewers, and everybody's ERA starts with a 2, almost.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's ERA starts with a 2, and Brandon Sproat starts with a 5, and he's still in the starting rotation.
I feel like this is gonna sound
Came
weird.
out. Oh, what is?
I was just saying, I feel like it sounds weird to say this, but at the same time, yes, he has a 5.8 ERA. It doesn't feel like he has a 5.8 ERA.
I agree. It does not.
It feels like he's pitched better than that, and he gets in these moments where he's walking guys, or there's errors whenever he's on the mound for some reason.
Inherited runners, I
uh-huh.
think his inherited runners always score.
Right.
Let's hear what Pat Murphy had to say about Brandon Sproat after the game.
Well, he's so good. He's so good when he's good that it gives you hope. That I mean, he's facing a great lineup today, but he's so good when he's good and he's done some great things for us already this year. He's had a couple of rough outings, but in no way, shape, or form would I think we're considering getting him out of there. I think conversely, we're not sticking with him. This guy's got a chance to be a high-end starter. He's a rookie, so rookies are going to go through that. Just like if there was a guy in our lineup. Now, if there's a guy without that kind of stuff, Kurt, I see what you're saying. If there's a guy that we're popping in and out of there because of an injury or something like that, now that guy's got to be a little more efficient, or we're not going to hang with him. But a kid like this has such upside that we lived with some of this last year with Miz too. But he shows some brilliance. Today's outing wasn't ideal, but if you look at his line before Drone gave up the triple and the homer, it was a decent line with too many walks.
And I think that's kind of what we said. But what's surprising here in what Murph is saying is he's ahead of Coleman Crowe. He's ahead of Logan Henderson. He's ahead of Robert Gasser. He's your number, kind of de facto number 3 right now.
Yeah.
Like he's behind Harrison and Miz, obviously.
Mhm.
But he's your number 3 guy in terms of stuff. And I think that's the confusing thing. And I'll admit I'm confused by it sometimes. Like when Logan Henderson pitches so well last year and gets 3 starts and then is sent down basically for the rest of the year. When Coleman Crowe has pitched so well this year. Gasser hasn't been great, but before this year, Gasser was great every time he pitched in the regular season and then would get sent down. And I think like we as baseball fans don't see the mechanics, don't see the work that goes into multiple pitches, that like if guys have 2 great pitches, you can have 3 great starts at the major league level. But unless you have a 3rd and or a 4th, you're not getting to where you want to get to. Sproat has 4 pitches.
Mhm.
Logan Henderson just got a 3rd, right? Gasser's still working on his repertoire. So when they can get Sproat to where, like through this pitching factory of the Milwaukee Brewers, they all believe he's going to be special. And I think you can see it
Mhm.
when he's out there. Like you could see moments.
On his 7 strikeouts, he looks like a beast.
Yep.
He goes out there, he looks strong. Like he's jacked for how kind of short he is compared to some of these other Brewers pitchers that they have out on the mound. Like he just looks like he's going to be a workhorse for this Brewers team if he can keep the control in check. And I think that's something that Pat Murphy sees in the way he's talking about it. Like just the difference between he's talking about Sproat and then immediately goes, yeah, before the triple and home run given up by Drone. Like he didn't have to call out Drone like that. We all saw the game. We all saw what happened. But at the same time, he mentions that because I don't think he feels the same way about Drone then at this point too.
I think he's sending a message that Drowan is another guy that we think could be a middle of the pack, if not top end of the rotation starter, but not there yet. Like he's another guy, right? 2 pitches and working on more and could get there. But there was a reason. You're right. There's a reason Pat Murphy mentioned Shane Drone's name. So he doesn't do anything without reason, right? So now we can turn our attention to the Cardinals, right? Now we can turn the page. We'll talk a little bit more about this series with Tim Allen at 7:40. But we turn our attention to the St. Louis Cardinals coming to town. And we will obviously look at the NBA Finals. So we've got plenty to talk about when we come back. And anything else you noticed over the weekend, anything else in the world of sports, anything else on your mind. It is Dollar Hot Dog Day today at AmFam Field. So we're going to ask Charlie how many hot dogs he thinks he can eat. It is the smaller hot dogs, the dollar hot dogs. Those aren't like the big, nice all beef ones.
Yes, they're not cool.
They are definitely
nice to us.
They are definitely not cool. He's Charlie Usen. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. We are inside Wisconsin sports with Trevor and Josh, who probably are both sleeping right now.
Sound of the day. It's time for
The most electrifying,
Sound of the Day
the most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Wembanyama, I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go from midcourt.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports. Mitch Nellis, Charlie Usen with you. Charlie, I'm guessing you did not see that live.
I did not see that.
Was it on at work? Like, did they have the game on?
We did have it on, but
Okay.
it started at 7, I
yeah.
think. We closed at 8, so I
Okay.
was running around
on
doing things
Sunday
during that
nights?
time.
That was so we had gotten home. We do our annual Memorial Day barbecue on Sunday at Estabrook Park in Shorewood. Shout out Estabrook Park, awesome spot. And we'd gotten home, we were unloading everything. I think I'd finished doing one load of dishes, and so I just sat down, and then Mrs. Thunder was making like a. Do you know what a strata is?
I do not know.
Okay, a strata is like an
I can look it up.
it's like an egg and bread dish.
Okay.
Like where we had a bunch of leftover
Ooh,
French
that looks
bread.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
a quiche.
Yeah, it's like a quiche, but no
It's like a-
crust.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's got like the bread
It's like
in
a
it.
quiche lasagna.
Yeah. So we did just an egg and cheese with a little green onion. We didn't do normally we'll do veggies, but we want the kids to eat it, so she's making a strata, and I was like, and then all of a sudden I see like the crowd going crazy. And so I missed it, but I kind of saw it. Then I saw something, and I go back and I rewind, and then I call like, Ellie, you got to get in here. You got to see this. And then I'm yelling upstairs to Big Rumble. I'm like, Hallie, get downstairs. You got to see this. And it's like everybody's like, I mean, it was electric. They were up 9. If you missed it last night, Wemby hits a legit half court.
Mhm.
Not like, he was like, 4 feet in
Well,
front.
not even just half court with 3 guys surrounding him.
Right.
Like
Now,
on
granted,
him.
he's 7'5", so they're
I
not
get
really.
it,
Yeah.
but they're still there. Like
They're-
those guys are still there. They're still tall too. I know they're not 7'5",
Yeah.
but they're still like around him trying
They're
to stop
around
him
him.
from taking this shot.
Yep.
It's crazy.
No, they were around him. And he just like drills it like a jumper. Like it's not like it hit he didn't bank it in.
Mm.
It didn't bounce around. And it was a swish. It was Michael Jordan, Larry Bird playing for a Big Mac in the 80s in those famous McDonald's commercials when they were playing horse. He just drilled it. The Spurs now tied 2-2 with the Thunder. I don't know if you have a horse in this one, Charlie. I wouldn't mind seeing San Antonio win.
I think I'm cheering for the Spurs. I think it's mostly because I think Wemby's awesome. I like just seeing amazing players do amazing things, and what
Yep.
he's done this entire series, this entire playoff run,
Yeah.
it's been amazing. I'm cheering for him, and then just for the Bucks' sake, I think if the Spurs keep winning and Wemby keeps being the player that he is, doesn't that raise Giannis's value to be that Wemby stopper for any team in the NBA, not just Western Conference teams?
That's what everybody's saying. And I know you and Sparky have talked about that. We've talked about that on the Mason Crosby show. Let's talk about that in the next segment because that's what people are saying. But then I saw a report that came out, I think yesterday or today, that said that the trade talks for Giannis are still tepid, even with all of the Wemby talk and all the Wemby stuff going on. So
He posted something yesterday of his new shoes, and then they were in front of the picture was in front of a Milwaukee Bucks jersey. He put it out there, so
okay,
we'll
all right.
see.
Well, and we continue. I saw more video over the weekend also of him at different Milwaukee spots with his kids and doing stuff. And he's still out and about. He is this.
It seems
Whether,
almost on purpose that we're
Right.
seeing so much.
well,
Giannis
I was
in
going to say
Milwaukee.
whether it's him or whether it's his PR firm who are doing all the stuff. There's no doubt that whether it's a farewell tour or trying to look good, it sure does seem like this is on purpose for sure. Charlie Usen, Mitch Nellis here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Hour 1 is done. Hour 2 coming up. Tim Allen going to join us at the end of the hour, but plenty more coming up here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God,
Oh,
don't
God.
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Welcome into hour number 2 of Inside Wisconsin Sports with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis, and the big fella, the gentle giant, Charlie Usen.
What's up?
If you ever met
That was a good
Charlie
Mason
in
Crosby
real,
impression.
huh?
That was a good Mason Crosby impression.
That was.
What's up?
What's up? Just hanging out. If you ever met Charlie Usen in real life, first of all, he's a big guy.
Mhm.
He's tall. Played offensive line in
A
college.
little wide too, yeah.
Yeah, a little wide. But the immediate joviality and positivity that you would feel from being around Charlie
Thanks.
is infectious. So I say to you, young fella, keep it up.
I'll try.
Yes.
I try. I like being, upbeat. Life's better with a smile.
Life is better with a smile. I like that, man. Tim Allen says something like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Love that. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh are out. Mitch and Charlie with you. Talked about a lot about the Brewers in the first hour. Touched on the NBA. Wemby with a crazy half-court shot to end the second half last night. Spurs and Thunder tied at 2. Knicks up 3-0. Do you care at all about the Eastern? It's Knicks, right? Like, who cares? Like,
yeah,
it's
I guess.
over.
I want the Cavs to, put up more of a fight. It just feels like the Eastern Conference in general this season was so disappointing, especially early on in playoffs when you lose the Celtics as early as you do. And the 76ers don't feel like a team that is like the Pacers where they were going to go on a run to the finals. But I think this says more about how bad the rest of the East was around the Pacers that year too when they made that run to the finals. I don't know. It just didn't feel as entertaining, especially when you have Victor Wembanyama doing what he's doing for the Spurs, when the Thunder are continuing to be one of the best basketball teams of all time. It's so hard to want to, I guess, care about the Eastern Conference Finals when there's no Bucks and there's so much going on in the West.
Right. I agree with that. I do wonder, can the Knicks win the title?
I think so, right? They should be able to. That team is loaded in their starting lineup, at least. Their bench has a unit that goes out there and can have 3 to 4 guys that consistently can go out there and be a 6th man that can be a 20-point per game scorer. They have the pieces. Just the problem is, again, the Spurs and Thunder, both, whoever comes out of the West is a juggernaut.
I agree with that. Right now, if you looked at the gambling odds at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to win the NBA championship, the Thunder still the odds-on favorite at minus 125. So better than even money or worse than even money. You have to bet 125 to win 100. The Knicks are second. The Knicks are better odds than the Spurs right now to win the championship, which surprises me a little bit because to your point about a Western team probably winning the whole thing, you can also bet on the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the field. So you don't have to pick the Knicks or the Spurs. You could say either the Thunder are going to win or the Knicks or Spurs will win. I mean, I guess the Cavs are being
they could be in there too.
They're not. They're not. No one in the NBA history has ever come back from 3-0. So don't expect it. Was it last year or 2 years ago? That the Celtics did it and a lot of teams have done, but the Celtics, I think, almost did it last year. They were down 3-0, or I don't remember what it was. The Thunder, again, still the overwhelming favorite, then Knicks, then Spurs. And you said you saw, when did Giannis post pictures of his new shoes?
That was yesterday. I saw somebody repost it on Twitter, so I didn't see it specifically myself, but it was on his story. It was the picture of his new Giannis 8s or the Freak 8s, the pink ones that he has coming out.
Okay.
Again, in front of his Milwaukee jersey.
Interesting. Do you know where Giannis was yesterday?
Where was Giannis yesterday?
Giannis was in Athens yesterday. Olympiacos His old team, his favorite team in Greece, clinched the EuroLeague basketball title, beating Real Madrid despite a late stretch of defeats. Let's see who Evan Fournier, if you remember him, he played in the NBA for a long time. He's on that team. Trey Lyles is on Real Madrid. So some former NBA players on both teams. But Olympiacos with the EuroLeague basketball title with Giannis watching the game from the stands.
Oh,
So-
if you Google Olympiacos, is
Yep.
that how you say it? You get little like fireworks saying they won the EuroLeague.
I mean,
That's kinda
Google's on top of it,
Uh,
man. Google does not mess around. So with seeing what Wemby's doing, game one, he had 41 and 24. Yesterday, he had 33 points in 31 minutes. I think that's right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
And with other teams saying, and frankly, I mean, are the Thunder, they I don't know if they stopped him in games 2 and game 3, but they didn't let him go off the way he did. They've won when he's gone off. The Spurs have lost when Wemby hasn't. Is there a case to be made? Like if the Bucks are trading Giannis for sure, is there a case to be made in the NBA that the Bucks need to shop him as the Wemby stopper, as the only guy who's big enough, strong enough, and fast enough to really bother Wemby? And so that, hey, Western Conference, if you want a leg up, you need to pony up for Giannis.
I think you kind of have to. I mean, Chet Holmgren, I think, was viewed as kind of that potential counterpart to him. He's a third-team All-NBA player.
No, he's not.
He
That
is.
I know.
By voting this
Such
season,
a
Mitch,
joke.
he's a third-team
He's
All-NBA
so
player.
trash.
He's a solid defender at worst. At best, I think he's one of the best defensive players in basketball. Like he should
he?
be that guy.
I think he's a great help defender, blocks from the weak
Isn't
side.
that what Giannis is?
No, Giannis can D you up one-on-one.
But when in the
I don't
finals
know
run,
that
wasn't
Holmgren
that
can.
the big complaint? Is that he wasn't doing
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
And then
well,
a couple years
whether-
after that, is
right.
that like he's the best help defender in basketball?
whether he wants to do it or not is a whole different conversation.
Well, and I think Chet could get to that point where he could be a solid one-on-one defender, but I think to some degree, when you watch a game like yesterday and Chet is on Wemby for a majority of that game, and Wemby clearly just does whatever he wants.
Right.
Like,
Wemby
it's
owned him.
insane.
And Chet gave him no challenge on the other end. Chet Holmgren
Chet
shot the ball 8 times.
Well, and like he tried at points. There's the one where he gets up, his whole like elbow is above the rim to dunk on Wemby,
Yep.
and Wemby still blocks it.
Yep.
Like, what are you supposed to do? This dude is getting up a foot above the rim,
Mhm.
trying to dunk on this guy, and he just can't do it. Like you can't blame him for only shooting 8 times when there's just no way to stop that.
That's true. But that's not what you need from your third-team All-NBA guy either.
No, it's not.
So 414-677-1250 if you have an opinion on this. Do the Bucks need to shop Giannis if they are intending to trade him as someone who can bother Wemby, as someone who can get in Wemby's way, what that would look like. So if you want to chime in on that, go right ahead. I've been on board since March that Giannis is gone and that the Bucks need to trade Giannis. Amazingly not conflicting, but just like different narratives out there this offseason. I mean, the offseason for the Bucks has started. I mean, I still don't know which way this is going to go. And we have a month and a half. I mean, the draft is June 29th or something like that. So we have time. The Bucks have a good month here. Not a month and a half, a month.
Uh-huh.
The Bucks have a month to figure this out.
Well, and I think you look at the way the playoffs are playing out right now, and as the Milwaukee Bucks, you have to look at that and say, like we're saying, the Eastern Conference is not that good. If we
Right.
have a healthy Giannis, we potentially could be back in the mix there. And then if Giannis is truly going to be the only player that is a Wemby stopper for any team, then why can't the Bucks have the Wemby stopper themselves? Like I think there's a lot of things that are happening in the playoffs right now that are leading more towards keeping Giannis.
What are the Bucks doing with a Wemby stopper?
I mean,
Twice in the regular season? Lottie freaking down.
If you can work your magic, if Horst can go out there in the offseason again this year and make something happen,
a lot of magic.
we've seen him do it before.
I know.
We've seen him have a lot of magic before.
I
Like
know.
there's like
It's a lot of magic,
He
bro.
can do it. I believe in him to be able to try something at least and not just give up on this. this. Like
All right.
I think what he's done in the past has proven that he's willing to try anything to get to this point. And I think that if the Eastern Conference continues to play out the way it is, if Giannis can stay healthy for a full season, if we can bring in 1 to 2 more guys that can be key pieces for this team, the Bucks are very easily a top 6, top 8 seed in the East, and that can give you an opportunity to go to the finals where you could face a Wemby.
You're positive. You are
Gonna
Trevor
say.
Thomas right now. You are positive, and I'm the realist. I'll take that. Name the 4 teams still alive in the NHL playoffs.
The Vegas Golden Knights, I know for sure,
Yep.
are still there.
Okay.
Are the Florida Panthers still in it?
0%.
No.
No, they got. I don't even know if they made the playoffs this year.
I don't know.
Didn't
I
they
just-
win it last?
I saw it was because the Vegas Golden Knights. That's the reason I know they're
Okay.
in the playoffs, because Bam Adebayo was at that game.
Well,
And then the Florida
really?
Panthers quote tweeted and said, "Wow, we're disappointed in you, Bam." So I just assumed they were still in the
Oh,
playoffs too. That's
yeah,
that's kind of what I
no,
was thinking.
Yeah, the Florida Panthers are weak.
Outside of that, I don't think I'm going
That's-
to be able to tell you.
Okay, so the Golden Knights are up 3-0 on the Colorado Avalanche,
Okay.
who were the number 1 seed in the West. So disappointing so far for the Avalanche. Teams in the NHL have come back from 3-0,
Right.
by the way. Not often, but you get a hot goalie and that changes everything. In the East, the Montreal
I was
Canadiens
not gonna guess
and
them,
the
yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of instead. Like Carolina Panthers, Florida
Right,
Panthers.
there's
That's what I was
some
thinking, right? Yeah, there's
similarities.
similarities there.
The Canadians finished, let's see, I don't know what seed the Canadians were. They were 3rd in their division. The Hurricanes won their division. The Avalanche, I think, had the overall, the Avalanche had the overall best season in the NHL this year. So it's a bit of an upset. As good as the Golden Knights are, who are okay, they're good. But they won their division as well, but with way less. Is there anything that would get your attention in the NHL?
I mean, I liked the 4 countries, the World Classic that
Okay.
they did. I thought the 4 nations. I thought
Yep.
that was fun. I tell myself every single beginning of the NHL season that I'm gonna try to watch more hockey this year, and then I watch 1 to 2 games. And it's not that I'm not intrigued by it. I think it's just that when you have so many other sports going, when the NHL season is getting started, you still have football going on.
Right.
You got basketball starting right around the same time. And then towards the end of the season here, you got baseball. And all 3 of those sports, I think, just take my attention more so because I grew up with them versus watching the
Sure.
NHL as much when I was growing up. So I think, the thing to get my attention would be have a team in Milwaukee where I can go watch those games more and pay
Okay.
attention to that.
Okay, so to that point, you and Sparky have John Greenberg on the show once a
Mm-hmm.
week, right? Now, a number of the players you guys talk about and have talked about over the past couple of years are on the Nashville Predators.
Mhm.
Right? Because that the Admirals are the farm
Yep.
team for the Predators. Does that make you at all think about maybe I should follow the Predators?
A
or maybe I
little
should and because I've actually said this for the last 15, maybe even 20, 15 years probably, that there should be a Milwaukee Nashville Sports Commission
Mhm.
with the Sounds and the Admirals and the Brewers and the Predators. There should be a Milwaukee Nashville connection that doesn't exist. And I've actually talked to the people that visit Milwaukee and Sports Milwaukee about this. And they're like, yeah, there just doesn't seem to be the interest. So we don't do it. So I don't know if it needs to be a sports person to do it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there should be a bigger, it should be a bigger deal. 2 of those teams, that's the NHL team that Milwaukee could adopt if we don't want to be Blackhawks
Yeah.
fans. That's the Major League Baseball team that Nashville could adopt until they get a team in 2 years.
Well, but I think on the other side of things, FanDuel Wisconsin, who used to be the Brewers channel, they run the Minnesota Wild games on that channel.
That's weird.
So I think they're pushing a different narrative that if you want to have a favorite team, Wisconsin, it should be the Wild. But then you're saying the same about the
That's
Predators, which I think I
stupid.
agree with. I think
Yeah.
that's true. When I was younger going to these Admirals games, I did want to pay attention to the Predators a little bit more. I was looking up their team. I like PK Subban. He was their best player for a really
Yes, he
long
was.
time. And I thought he was
Look at
fun.
you
So,
with a PK Subban.
yeah, I paid attention. That's what got me to pay attention a little bit to the NHL. And now I still pay attention probably to the same degree that I did when I was 8 years old looking at PK Subban, just paying attention to the best players, the best teams for the most part. But outside of that, I am not gripped by it because I go to the Admirals games and, I pay attention to that team, but it's not the NHL. It's a different league. So I like watching that more because that's in my hometown.
That makes sense. I mean, and you just explained why more Wisconsinites are not NHL fans, even the ones who are NHL fans. Like, it's hard to follow. I mean, I grew up a Boston Bruins fan. It's hard to follow the NHL from Wisconsin. We can get more into and I've discussed this literally for the past 20 years, why Wisconsin doesn't have an NHL team. The Blackhawks blocked it, right? The Blackhawks screwed them. And then they weren't willing to make the investment. And newsflash, hockey's more expensive than basketball. So if you think people are going to stop going to Bucks games when they start stinking when Giannis leaves, if there was an NHL team here that stunk, no one's going to those games. They're even more expensive than NBA games. All right, plenty more to get to. Want to get a little bit into the holiday theme coming up. And also I have a question for Charlie that I don't know if I know the answer to. Getting to know Charlie a little bit better here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with no Trevor, with no Josh, but with Thunder and Charlie. Remember, Tim Allen coming up at the end of the hour around 7:40, and then Tommy Wirtz, the 8:00 hour. Cannot wait. He's already ready. Like, we know he's ready. He's like, he just wants to be. I'm actually surprised he didn't come in. Like, he's going to be on video, but I'm surprised that, like, he isn't, because he is locked in right now. He is like, I need 3 shows. I need 3 shows. It's like, I need that hit. I need that hit. I need 3 shows.
He's got a schedule. He's got to stay on it. He's got to get the 3rd show.
It's exactly. Man, he should have stayed hourly. Tell me you should have stayed hourly, bro. He's Charlie Uzin. I'm Mitch Nellis. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let everyone make. Get up.
Sparky into Down with the Sickness.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
this
I-
is. I don't know if this is one of the ones he put on himself because we
But-
each put 3 songs in the bumper reel for us. But
Okay. Nice.
The new
Yeah,
one
I stole this. I stole this from Sparky. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports. Mitch Nellis, Charlie Usen with you. Tim Allen going to join us in a few minutes, and then Tommy Worst in the 8 o'clock hour. Before we get to that, I'll get to that. Charlie, what's your how many hot dogs can you eat if you
I
ate the
think-
dollar hot dogs at?
So I
I
went.
feel like we've talked about this.
I went last year to the Dollar Dogs Day, and
Okay,
I
okay.
did not eat as many hot dogs as I thought I would. I didn't do like the
It's because you didn't want to stand in line. Or?
Yeah, it was standing in line, like getting up, and not like I like watching the game, so I don't want to constantly be at the concession stand, whether the home team's pitching or not. Like I'd
Okay,
rather
okay.
be watching baseball.
That's fair.
So I ended up only eating like 3 last year. I think I could probably do 9.
Yeah.
I think
Would you want to do one per inning, or would you want to do like 2 at a time? Or
I do like if I was gonna do the whole challenge.
Yeah.
I think I would do 2 at a time. You know,
well,
try
then
to,
that's
like,
not the challenge.
give yourself a break.
That's
no,
cheating.
no, it's 9
The
hot
challenge-
dogs, 9 beers,
No,
and
it's-
9
no,
innings.
it's not.
That's what it is.
No, it's not. It's 1 hot dog and 1 beer per inning.
well then
4
it
or
would
9
be,
innings.
Then it would be the 1 hot dog, 1 beer per inning challenge.
Anybody
Not-
can
not
eat 9 hot
nine
dogs and drink 9 beers.
No shot.
Yeah.
That's not something anybody could do.
I could do that easy.
Yeah, but you're not just anybody, Mitch.
Good point.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky?
Chicago Charlie. We're gonna update that.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he calls you that
No
anymore.
one calls you Chicago Charlie.
Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
I figured we had to bring this, even though this is a Sparky Wisconsin Sports Daily segment. If Charlie and I are doing a show together, we're doing Sounds of the Day
Yeah,
because
we
I
might
just
as well.
I just need Charlie to like spread his wings a little bit and like feel himself a little bit and you know
I appreciate it.
see what's on his mind.
Thanks. I'm thinking Brewers. I have
Okay,
a lot
all
of Brewers. I have 3 Brewer sounds for Sound of the Day, all from this past weekend. We're going to start off by heading over to baseball tonight on ESPN podcast with Buster Olney.
Mhm.
He had Paul Hembekides on the show, and he
Just made up a
says-
name.
I did not. That's a real
That's
name.
not a
I
real name.
promise.
Empakais.
Hembekides.
You see, that's what I said.
That was close enough. You know, we were good.
Whatever.
He says Bryce Trang is the best second baseman in baseball.
And Buster, in my judgment, Bryce Terang has done that. He has unseated Ketel Marte, and he is now the best second baseman in all of baseball. I'll take you back to provide an arbitrary endpoint to August 1st of last year, since which Bryce Terang has played 94 games. Buster, he is slashing 303, 401, 531 across those 94 games, which is a batting line sandwiched between Shohei Ohtani and Nick Kurtz on the WRC plus leaderboard. He has played now 20 months in his big league career. All right, the 4 months in which he has swung the least are the last 4 months that he has played, dating to August of last season. Bryce Terang, Buster, has realized what a lot of the league still has not. Most hitters swing too often, especially in an ABS world.
Okay. I mean, listen, preaching to the choir, right? Like we all believe it, we all see it every day. That's one of the advantage we get, and every fan base is going to have its own bias, but we have that bias that we get to see that every day. He is the best second baseman in baseball, even if Nico Horner's making throws between his legs,
Well,
which
and
is cool,
it's-
that's
it's
fun,
fun.
but that doesn't make him the best
And
second baseman.
Offensively, he just doesn't add nearly as much as a Bryce Terang, I think, can to an offense. I know he's a good player. He's a very good hitter, one of the best
Absolutely.
contact hitters in baseball. But for the Cubs, especially in this last 8-game skid that they've been on, he hasn't been able to be a power bat when the rest of the guys haven't been able to find consistent power for that team or find consistent contact. He hasn't been that player. Bryce Terang is consistently that player for the Brewers over the past 2 seasons. And I think that's
Absolutely.
something that's huge for this team, especially when they deal with the injuries that they do on a consistent basis. When you have so much going on, it feels like it's trying to push Milwaukee down. Bryce Terang is part of the reason the Brewers keep brewing. It's so much fun to watch.
Absolutely. Yep. Well said.
Next up, we're going to
Did
head.
Buster agree with him, by the way?
Buster did agree with
Okay,
me, yes,
all
he
right. I was curious about that. Homer and I got in a fight with Buster years ago talking about the concept of protection.
Okay.
I think it was about Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, and like Buster just started going off about how like protection exists and it's a real thing. And Homer and I just called, like Homer more than me, just called them out. I was like, it's not a thing. Just so you know, like you're making stuff up when you're talking about protection. Like a good hitter is going to hit.
Right.
Bad hitters are not going to hit. Yes, players are better when they're in a cluster, like when there's 5 good hitters in a row, but it's not because of protection. It's because of like,
It's
that's
5
how
good hitters.
that's how you build a lineup.
Exactly. Next up, we're going to head on over to MLB Network, where Raleigh Fingers, former Brewers pitcher, was talking about pitcher usage in 2026 and his time in Milwaukee.
It didn't bother me that much. I didn't mind going out. I needed a lot of work to stay sharp. I think a lot of guys do. And if I'd lay off for 3 or 4 games, I didn't like that. I liked being I could have gone every other day just to get in to stay sharp. If I laid off for more than 3 or 4 days, I wasn't as sharp. So I needed a lot of work. And so I didn't mind going out and like in those World Series pitching 12, 13 innings. It didn't bother me at all.
You go to Milwaukee and that's where you got the MVP. That's where you got the Cy Young Award in a shorter season. And suddenly you have this gaudy ERA, right? So it's even better then. That was when things started to turn, when it was becoming more specialized. Like that started to happen from your era, right?
I started throwing less innings. We had a pretty good bullpen. We had some guys in the bullpen in Milwaukee that we kind of shared the work. And but they would, if the game was tight in the late innings in Milwaukee, I would always listen on the radio. Bob Uecker was our radio announcer, and I would always listen to the game, and he'd always say, "Raleigh, the phone's going to ring in a second." He would tell me this on live radio. The phone would ring, so he knew that at the 8th inning, usually the 8th inning, I would be getting a call.
Man, one of the things I'm looking at Raleigh Fingers' career stats right now. He's right about. I mean, he pitched years where he led the league with 35 saves. He pitched 132 innings in 78 games. The next year, he had 37 saves. He pitched 107 innings in 67. So he was regularly averaging not quite 2 innings per appearance, but way more than 1 inning. And in these years, like he's got 37 saves and he went 6-13. He had 35 saves. He went 8-9, 20 saves. He went 13-11. 24 saves. He went 10-6. So he was factoring into 16, 24, 17, 19 decisions during the year. The year he won the Cy Young, he leads the league with 28 saves in 81 in that shortened season, and he went 6-3. Like, what closer is having that many wins and losses?
Aaron Ashby, maybe he's
right, but
he's
not
getting
a
all the wins.
closer.
No, he's not a closer.
Like this is
it's absolutely absurd what he was able to do, and like he talks about needing to pitch as often as possible. Like I don't think just anybody can do that. I don't think that's something you could just translate into 2020. Like he's just a different breed of person, a different breed of athlete
with the
that
A's
was in a different time.
Yeah, he really was. With the A's in the mid-70s, he led the league in games 3 out of 4 seasons. 76, 75, and 78. One other year was 70. And so he pitched 70 games, had 20 saves, and went 13-11. So he had 44 either wins, losses, or saves. 44 of his 70 games. He had that. Like, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Man, that's unbelievable. And by the way, he did have a 1.04 ERA in that.
That's
site.
pretty good.
Now, granted, it was a shortened season, but 47 games, 28 saves, and 6-3.
Well, again, you have to be the most valuable player on your team for that to happen, and
Cy
they
Young,
proved it. Yeah.
Cy Young and MVP.
That's just crazy. That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, good for him.
Mason Miller maybe this year.
Mason,
could be him.
They're saying Mason Miller has a better chance to win the MVP than Cy Young.
I believe it. Again, he's been so instrumental to that Padres team, the success that they've been able to have to start the season.
Well, and with Skeens, Miz, Ohtani, Sanchez,
Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they all have the stats.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to win the Cy Young. He can win the MVP.
You brought up Miz. Let's hear from Miz. He was on base with Mookie Betts this past weekend. He was discussing how hard he thinks he can throw at the top.
What's the hardest you think you can actually throw a ball?
I think 104, 105. I think I could touch 5.
You think you could touch 105? Do you know how hard it is to hit 100 miles an hour? Like, you barely see it.
I can't hit 90, but...
Oh, my God. So you think you can hit 105? Like, do you think in a couple years, hopefully when I'm done playing, that people are just going to be doing this all the time?
I don't think so. I think it'll be more common for a starter to be touching 100, but I don't think you'll have many guys sitting 100.
Yeah. There's a kid in Massachusetts right now who throws 102 in high school.
That's crazy.
And I know that Keith Law, who's like been a scout for 30 years, like worked for ESPN, now works for the Athletic, went to go see him and said like all the secondary sucked. Like, and he hit 96. He didn't hit 102. But he has thrown 102 and like
96 in high school. Still
right.
crazy.
Like if he gets the right training and the right coaching, like he'll get to where he needs to be. I tend to agree with Miz. Like I think 103, 104 is you have to have like beyond God-given talent. Like to 100, you need the God-given talent. And yeah, more and more people will be brought up to throw that hard, but to throw that hard, that consistently with control and other pitches. Because again, like Mookie said, it's hard to throw 100. But if you're just throwing 100, guys can sit on that and eventually they'll get the timing. You got to be able to throw other things. And that is where I think the challenge is. That's what makes Miz so special. Again, because he's got 4, maybe even 5 pitches. He's not just throwing that and a 94-mile-an-hour changeup. He's throwing a curve. He's throwing a sweeper. Like he's got all sorts of pitches in his repertoire, and they're not all perfected yet. But when they are, he's going to be even better. And that's crazy to
They
think
look
about.
pretty damn good for not being perfected. I don't know how much people are paying attention to other teams across the league right now, but the Rockies, their entire bullpen is all guys that just throw 100.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything else but throw 100.
Right.
So whenever they try to throw another pitch, it's a meatball in the zone every single time. So you need to be able to develop these guys beyond just being able to throw 100 to get them to where they're at, like the Brewers and Chris Hook have been able to do.
Well, to give this gentleman his proper due, we are going to break now because Tim Allen is going to break down the Brewers weekend, look ahead to the Cardinals with us. And maybe we'll do we dare throw Tim and Tommy on together and just like get like some craziness? We'll see if they can
test it.
Have to test it. We'll see. Tim Allen coming up next here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh? Nope. Thunder and Charlie. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Mitch and Charlie.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's who we are.
It sounds a little weird, but that's the truth. That's our truth, at
We're
least.
killing it.
Yeah, we definitely are. Tim Allen is efforting. I just talked to him. He should be hooked up in a minute or so here, so we'll get him to jump on and briefly recap the weekend and tell us his thoughts on where the Brewers are headed. Charlie, favorite cookout item, favorite things to grill, favorite things to get involved with there.
I feel like this is gonna be a little bit of a hot take. Like, I get excited for brats,
Okay.
but then when I actually have a brat, it's never as like rewarding as I think it's going to be. So like brats
Has it ever been?
Yeah,
Like,
I
does
think
somebody
so.
make them a certain way, or
My dad, I think, makes them really well. And
beer
like,
and onions, or
yeah,
what are we
like,
talking?
No, like it's usually just plain. Like I like a
Okay.
good like ground mustard though. That's
Yep.
usually like just my go-to, and then a little bit of sauerkraut. And
Okay.
that's about it. I just think it's the way he grills them. Something that he does, it works, and I think it's delicious. Outside of that, like not the biggest fan. Outside of brats, though, like to get excited about Italian sausage. I love good Italian sausage on a grill too. Like
Nice.
that's just a classic.
Nice. All right. I see Tim. I hear Tim. Let's bring in the franchise.
Here we go.
Tim Allen. What's up, brother?
What's happening? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you.
How you doing?
We got a hard out today, so we got about 11 minutes.
Okay.
So let's get right into it. Big win Friday. Little bit of a letdown Saturday and Sunday. What are your overall takeaways from the series?
Yeah, well, measuring stick, I don't know. I'm not sure of that, because when you look at what the Brewers did against the Dodgers last year in the regular season, well, you were 6-0.
Mhm.
If you want to measure that up, and then it didn't measure up in the NLCS.
It didn't translate, right?
It didn't. So I think it's the way you play these games. You're getting right a little bit. And there were some, I mean, let's face it, you weren't at your best on the mound here.
No.
You were Henderson, Gasser, and Sproat.
Yep.
Let's line that up in a playoff series where it's going to be Mizorowski, Harrison, Woody, and
Yep.
Henderson.
And Henderson, there's your four. Yeah.
There's your four. So
Or Priester too. Whenever he
Yeah,
gets
or
you never
Priester,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, or another acquisition. Who knows what's going to happen?
Sure.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. What department would need some improvement here? Offense, starting pitching, or relievers? And I gravitated toward the relief corps.
Okay.
I mean, fifth inning yesterday, really tight ball game right there. Sproat gets in trouble. I thought that would have been a good spot for Ashby right there.
Okay.
In the fifth inning.
Yeah.
Because, but now that when we talk about the relief corps in general, Ashby's been kind of scooted into higher leverage there.
Yes.
And that's exactly why I'm thinking, Mitch, Charlie, that they would need a reliever more than anything else. And a lot of people say, well, it's offense. I still contend that this offense is going to be a good one. I do.
And since they got healthy, they've been good. They're still not hitting home runs
No.
as much as we want them to, but they're scoring runs for the most part.
And over the weekend, you get yourself into trouble. It's weird. Baseball is just a funky thing at times.
Yeah, it is.
You can't walk a bunch of guys like that. And that's the thing. Murph yesterday was talking about Sproat and said that he pitched pretty good only because that's how he measures a young pitcher.
Right.
That you're going to have days like that. You just are. That's the maturation. Everyone just doesn't burst on the scene. It's almost like an NFL wide receiver. You have a select few that just bounce into the league and bam, they're great. Most times in the NFL, a receiver takes a little bit. It takes, that 2 to 4 year window to really come to fruition. Look at Devontae Adams. I mean, he didn't burst onto the scene. He wasn't great out of the chute. I mean, it's the same thing.
He was bad for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember a lot of Packer fans saying, "You got to catch the football, Devontae."
I called when I was on the air. I called for him to be traded. I said his second year. I said you got to get rid of this guy. He can't catch the ball.
Yeah, a lot of drops. So and it's the same thing most times with a starting pitcher. It just takes going through those things. I have high hopes for Brandon Sproat.
Well, you heard what Murph said after the game, right? I mean, he gave him ultimate praise just
Sure
talking
did.
about his stuff.
Yeah, he sure did. And so, I mean, the future is really, really bright in that rotation and young. And so, but offensively, to your point, they're not hitting home runs, but they're scoring runs. And it's just, you just need a little more time here with this offense. And we can talk all day long about the left side of the diamond, on the infield offensively.
Which we have.
And it does need improvement.
Yep.
But look at the last 7 or 8 games for Ortiz. I mean, look at the on base percentage.
He's
good.
He's walking a lot. He's getting on base. You're right.
And whatever you can get out of him is great, because the rest of the gang, I think where you really need to start just taking a peek at a little bit, gentlemen, is, and he's my guy too. It's almost a third of the season here. We're Friday will be the 1/3 mark, exactly, 54 games. Sal Frelick and Garrett Mitchell. Those two guys, I don't care which one of you does it. I don't care. Garrett, it could be you, Sal. One of you guys got to step up here, because once Lockridge gets healthy, you might be thinking he's going to take some playing time from someone.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tim Allen joining us here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. So I was wondering, not necessarily about the right side of the infield, though we keep talking about Cooper Pratt and Chet Williams and what they're doing in the minors and all those guys coming up. But the offense as a whole, as it comes together, like, can they get on a run like they did last year, where the offense carried the team, to those, 700 wins in a row?
I think they might have to at times, Mitch, because this is still a young staff.
Yep.
And even though it's almost a third there, I mean, they're young and they're going to go through this sort of thing. And there's going to be bumps in the road with this staff, and the offense is going to have to step up. But man, when you look at certain lineups, it's assembled as Yelich, Vaughn, and Bowers as your 4, 5, and 6, then followed up by Frelick or a Mitchell. That on paper, now again, you don't play the game on paper, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But that on paper is really good.
Well, Tim, you just mentioned all those names, and you didn't even mention Bill Contreras.
Exactly, or Bryce Strang, or Jackson Churio. I mean, this offense should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it will be okay. And quite frankly, in a 50-game stretch, if I'd have asked both of you guys, hey, would you take 30 and 20 through the first 50 this year? All of us, hands down.
Yeah.
We're all sliding chips in. Saying,
Right, hands up.
yes.
Like we're all raising our hands. Yes,
You
absolutely.
bet. And here they are in first place, 30 and 20. And the bonus here, the mark of a great team. Now, I'm not saying the Brewers are great, but I'm just saying the mark of a great team in whatever sport we're dealing with here is winning, and you're not playing your best. You're still not clicking on all cylinders, and you're still winning at this clip. 15, I know we started in March, but 15 games, 15 wins per month, just based on that. And that's where they're at now with a few days left in May here. That equates to a 90-win season already, but they're not playing their best baseball. They have a chance to be great if you compare it to, hey, that philosophy, and that is we're not playing our best, but still we're winning. Potentially, they could be really, really good here again.
How excited are you? Memorial Day Monday, 1:10 first pitch, Miz on the mound against the Cardinals.
Every time he's out there, it's appointment setting, isn't it?
It is.
It's just, you can't wait. I think around the league is on notice with Miz now. And who's laying in the weeds here behind Miz and Scooble and Skeens and all these? Harrison, look at him.
He's right there. Numbers wise, he's right there.
Coiled up in the bushes there like a snake, ready to hiss and bite. And no one's giving him a ton of love. But, Miz is going to take all the headlines, and it's impressive. And watch it again today. Watch the command and control. because it's been good for Miz this year compared to
Yes.
a lot of young pitchers and himself based on last year. Man, his command has been pretty good.
Sure.
His pitch efficiency has improved. Oh man, it's cool. The Brewers have a superstar, if not in the making, a superstar already.
Yeah, it sure feels like already. All right, we got about a minute left. What do you expect from this series? As we know, Miz and Harrison start the first two. Cardinals in town. What do you want to see happen?
Cardinals have been playing good ball. You can't just say they're the Cardinals of rebuild mode. You can't do that yet. Do I
Right.
think they will come down to earth? Yes. But you got to win one of these first two games. Today, tomorrow, set yourself up again on Thursday to take this series. Much the same as the Dodgers series. You won that first game. You had 2 pops to win the series. Make sure you get at least 1, if not 2 chances to win this series.
Nice. I love it. Well, Tim, I know that I will be at the game today. So when I get in the car after the game, you know who I'm going to be listening to on the way home.
Oh yeah, we'll have some more fun. We had a great discussion yesterday about wholesale changes versus stepladder approach. You mentioned Cooper Pratt. Will it be him or will it be sweeping changes? Clock is ticking on a couple of players, namely one Blake Perkins. I would think he'd be the first one to fall a little bit. Akil Baddoo now eligible to be brought up.
Yep, saw that.
You mentioned Jet Williams. That could be a thing. I just don't see sort of that Black Monday deal, Mitch, where you see it in the NFL, where it's just sweeping changes and the 7 coaches got the act. I don't see that, but I do see a move or 2 coming. Yeah.
Anybody in the bullpen on notice?
I would think, a Woodford, although he's your white flag guy.
Right.
But they're still looking for that high leverage back end.
I think you're right. All right, Tim, we will be listening to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Thank you so much for jumping on today.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Tim Allen, the franchise. I'll listen to him after every single Brewers game. You make the switch and listen to him because he's the best. He's been doing it for 1,000 years, and he's good to do it for 1,000 more. And speaking of the best, he does it with Thomas Carl Wirtz, who's coming up next on Inside Wisconsin Sports.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Good morning and welcome in. If you're just getting up on this beautiful day in Wisconsin, wherever you may be listening, this is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Today it's with Thunder and Charlie. And of course, as we talk sports today, a quick reminder that Memorial Day is about remembering the men and women who gave everything for our country. We are grateful, so enjoy the games, the cookouts, and the day, but let's remember why we have it. Memorial Day is for those who never made it home. Let us remember the fallen and honor the sacrifice behind the freedom we enjoy. Thank you to all those who gave the greatest sacrifice. My name is Mitch Nellis. His name's Charlie Usen. What's up, Big Chuck?
Not too much, just hanging out. It's been a fun couple hours so far.
Yeah. Again, roll call. Where are you from? Kevin's good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Go Pack Go 1000 says, great show, guys. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. If you want to jump on, roll call. Where you're listening from, is your schedule different today than other days? I'm guessing many are, based on the opportunity to have the day off. Are you going to the Brewers game like I am? Charlie, what are you doing today?
Going for a hike. We don't know where yet. My girlfriend and I were going to decide on that when I get home later.
Plymouth.
Ooh, okay.
Plymouth is a great one.
All right.
We love that one. Obviously, anywhere in the Kettle Marion's great. Lapham Peak. You guys do ever Lapham?
I've been to Lapham Peak. Yeah. I have not brought my girlfriend there yet, though. So
love
I have
Lapham
to do
Peak.
that too. Yeah.
Both have, I'm a big tower. I love when there's a tower. Lapham Peak has a tower. Plymouth has a tower. Very cool. If you go to Plymouth, I don't know if it's open today or not, but there's a Cedar Crust cheese store on the way.
I always like stopping at cheese stores, meat stores, anything like meat and cheese. That's my go-to, man.
I mean, we speak the same language, my friend. I'm off cheese right now, and it's killing me.
Yeah,
this whole diet thing with the no dairy and all that.
I don't think I could do it.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Joining us now on the guest hotline, although he's not the guest, he's really the host. Hosting the last hour of the show, our good friend, the one, the only, Thomas Carl Wirtz. Tommy, how you doing, brother?
I want to call him Charlie Cheese Store for the rest of his time on the radio here. I think that would work out the best. Good morning, boys. How you doing?
Is Charlie Cheese Store better than Chicago Charlie?
Yes, everything's better than Chicago Charlie.
Yes. Yeah, not even close. Not even close at all. Thanks for letting me come on, guys. I figured just come hang out with the boys. I've been awake for a little bit here.
What
Memorial
have you been,
Day.
Why are you awake and what have you been doing?
I've been watching you guys for an hour, which you guys can validate. Me yesterday, I got home. You know what I did yesterday? This is what
Charlie, hold on. It's story time with Tommy. Charlie, sit back.
Right.
You can take your, turn your mic off. Let's just
fireplace on over here. Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that Tommy's got at least 4 stories from this weekend already. So I'm excited to just listen. Let's go.
So yesterday, Brewers Dodgers doesn't go the way that we all want it to go. And I have a beautiful girlfriend that I now live with as well, who also was working at her second job. And she said, I cannot wait to, quote, have a chill night Sunday night because we're both going to get back in the evening time and we'll be able to just watch a movie and go to bed. That's going to be the whole plan. She was working at a wedding. She does flowers at a wedding as well for a second job. I got home. I hustle home. She said she's going to be home by 6:45. At 6:40, she tells me it's probably going to be closer to 8. Can you figure out dinner? Can you figure out dinner?
Oh, okay.
And so her loving boyfriend not only made macaroni and cheese for her, but
What
made
do you
her a
mean made?
steak.
Hold on. What do you mean made macaroni and cheese? Box or actual like did you make macaroni and cheese?
What kind of obviously craft? Like, no, I'm not. I'm
So
not
you
doing
didn't.
any of the.
So you didn't
He
make.
could have at least
so you
splurged
didn't
on private
make-
selection or Velveeta.
Did you guys not? First of all, she requests craft. Okay, she has the palate of a 8-year-old boy, and I made her a steak, Mitch Nellis. I made her a steak and mac and cheese, and she didn't get home until 9:45, 10 o'clock at night.
Oh,
So it was just steak and mac and cheese waiting for her. She was so happy to see it. She was so glad that it happened. She was in such a great mood, and she was like, "Just go ahead, pick out any movie. We'll watch any movie you want." And then the dog destroyed a blind in our guest room that we didn't notice until the end of the night, and then she was in a terrible mood the rest of the night. And that was my day on Sunday. I don't know where I was going with this, but
All right.
I'm still recovering from that, so I'm glad that I woke up this morning just to your guys' face.
So many follow-ups from that, and we're glad you woke up to our faces as well, Tommy. How did you make the steak? On the stove?
Yeah, I pan fry them.
Okay, and you're happy with that? Like butter? You butter?
Oh yeah,
A lot of butter.
Oil, butter, and season them up. They were strips yesterday, so they were kind of thin. But I mean, you've seen me cook a steak, Mitch Nellis. I don't mess around with the pan.
No.
Yeah, I can
All right,
I can whip up a steak in the pan.
So the dog destroyed the blinds in the guest room. I kind of want to tell lady friend, destroying the blinds isn't that big a deal. Like, I mean, it sucks.
I know.
It's like it's not that big a deal. Like, it's just blinds.
No,
like,
the blinds at apartments are always cheap and kind of like just break anyways.
Yeah, you could buy blinds at Walmart for $29 and put new ones up. Like,
and why did the dog destroy the blinds? Because she was gone for 15 hours straight.
oh, I thought it was because you left peanut butter on the blinds. Because you were just like, there's just peanut butter. You were just spreading peanut butter on the blinds.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
No, she's out there making the money, and we all already know she makes way more money than I do. So go ahead, work.
I mean, you
work
in radio, bro. So we understand how that works.
But yeah, it like ruined her whole mood. She said, I got all these expectations for you dogs. She talks to her dogs like they're like scholars. I mean, like you would talk to Ellie, maybe, or so. And that's
so. What movie? So what movie did you choose?
We didn't watch a movie.
You didn't even watch a movie.
No. I tried to put on Nonstop with Liam Neeson, which is the Air Marshal movie where someone
Liam Neeson plays Liam Neeson in it. Yeah,
Neeson. It's taken in
bad
a different...
girlfriend in a bad mood movie.
Yeah. Right. Just threw on the movie, and we got about 3 minutes into it before she just completely stopped paying attention. So then I ended up just turning on an Impractical Jokers compilation on YouTube, and she was a little more locked in.
Nice. Well, Tommy, thank you for regaling us. We're all living vicariously through you as you encounter these new adventures in your life. But you mentioned that you'd gotten home from work, and work was the post-game show, and of course the leadoff show. So let's start with that. And So what was your impression? We talked a lot in the first hour, especially, and then we just had Tim Allen on talking about Brewers, Dodgers, a little bit about, that last year, that 6-0 against the Dodgers obviously didn't translate into a postseason win, that the Brewers may have had a little bit of a hangover last year after beating the Cubs. And did the Brewers have a little bit of a hangover this year after beating the Cubs? Or is it just baseball and they were facing Yamamoto and didn't have it Saturday? What were your takeaways from the weekend series?
I brought it up with Tim yesterday, saying that yesterday's game was such a weird game to do a post game to, because you didn't really feel like you learned too much or could develop any different thoughts about the Milwaukee Brewers than you had before that game, right? Brandon Sproat, he goes out. You see the flashes of why, hey, this is a great piece to get back in a Freddie Peralta trade. But then you also see, oh, yeah, he's a rookie and he can't find the strike zone. Shane Drowan, same thing on the pitching side of things, where since moving to the bullpen, he's been pretty lights out. Is he allowed to have one bad outing against the best team in the National League? I would give him some grace on that purpose there, or at least on paper. I know not by record best team in the National League. And then the Brewers have 7 guys, 7 different players record a single in the ball game yesterday. So it's either you have to be like, yep, William got his obligatory hit in the contest, or wow, should we start celebrating because Joey Ortiz got a hit during this ball game as well? It just felt like everyone did a bare minimum of kind of contributing, or I haven't changed my opinion on you as a player in yesterday's contest. With that being said, all weekend in the series, if Miz and Harrison don't pitch against you, I'm not going to judge the series. I can't.
Right.
I don't think it's fair to say that was a litmus test when the 2 best pitchers, maybe not just on the Brewers, but in the National League, didn't get to go against you. So I was upset that the Brewers obviously didn't take the series, but Logan Henderson was awesome to watch. And there were definitely some flashes over the last 2 days that I thought were good stuff.
Nice. And I mean, I don't know how much we want to talk about, and we heard what we played Murphy's comments about Sproat and how much we want to talk about this series. I'm just excited about Miz today and the Cardinals. Like, Miz pitches today. The Cardinals are in town. They're only a game and a half out. Chance for the Brewers to send a message with Miz and Harrison.
Is Jacob Mizorowski the most talented thrower of the baseball in Brewers history already?
We just heard a clip from Raleigh Fingers, and he seemed pretty talented during his time playing.
Right. I don't know if talented is like. I'd wonder what's the difference in talent between him and like a guy like Raleigh Fingers or Teddy Higuera, or like there's a difference in that word talented that, like, compared to like Teddy Higuera in 1989, like he was the most talented pitcher in baseball.
Does he have the highest ability to throw the baseball more than anyone else in Brewers history? Is that the phrasing we're looking for?
Is he? I don't want to use the word potential because obviously we could use that. I don't know. Like he is the most electric, but I'm not. And he might be the most talented when all is said and done. Like I would. All right, here's my question. Do we expect him, when all is said and done, when Mizorowski's pitched for the Brewers for 7 years or 15 years or whatever it is, do we expect him to go down as the most talented Brewers pitcher in the history of the Milwaukee Brewers?
If he stays healthy, I think that's going to happen. I think that's the part of this that is so uncharted. Well, what happens to the elbow? What happens to the arm? I don't even want to think about that right now.
Right.
But St. Louis, I'm very excited for a series that gets you back-to-back games of Jacob Mizorowski and Kyle Harrison, because I do think Jacob Mizorowski, just after 20 or so career starts, I'm comfortably in the camp of, yeah, he's probably one of the most talented pitchers I've ever seen already. I can tell that he has that stuff, and I'm willing to invest in him that way as a baseball player and as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. The offense, I'm excited to watch as well. I do think it is fine. I do think the offense is fine. I wish they were more consistent at times. I do think that they have a weird mix at the bottom where you have Frelick and Ortiz and Rengifo, and every time Joey Ortiz gets any sort of criticism from me about his bat, he has a game like yesterday where it's just, damn, he's really good at defense. He really is a good defensive shortstop, and he makes plays that I do think that 80% of people would not make at the shortstop position. So I give him that credit. I also think that the Brewers have gone away now from manufacturing in their lineup and now have production that they expect out of a lot of players. You get a guy like Andrew Vaughn back. You get a guy like Jackson Churio back after a couple of weeks. Now everyone's free swinging. Everyone go up there and go ahead, try to do damage with every pitch. When in reality, guys, they just got to get to 4 runs. All you got to do is get to 4, and you win the baseball game for the Brewers. And I don't know if it's that easy, really, but the numbers don't lie. If they get to 4 runs, they just don't lose baseball games. So if Pat Murphy was hearing this and listen and just realize, find any way to get to 4, and then you're probably going to win the game, I think they would your offense wouldn't really be such a high topic and like a high topic of interest right now for this Brewers team.
Yeah, Tommy Wirtz with us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, but no Trevor, no Josh. It's Thunder and Charlie, and we're just hanging out. We're just doing what is it?
I called it
Chunderwatch.
Oh, Chunderwatch.
I hate that, dude.
Wow,
I hate that.
Charlie and Thunder's Chunder.
I thought Charlie would like that. Yeah,
I
thought he would.
I feel like Chunder should mean something Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
Chunder is a slang term primarily used in Australian and British English that means to vomit.
Oh, good.
It can also be used as a verb to throw up and as a noun, meaning the vomit itself. So when your dog's chunder, Tommy, because they eat blinds, you can let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, I am lucky enough to really just reap the benefits of having a dog and not have to worry about much of the consequences because I can always play the card of these aren't my dogs.
Not my dogs.
Not my dogs.
Yeah.
So I get to
to
love the dogs. I get to pet the dogs. I don't have to do anything else or spend any money on the dogs because they're not my dogs. But I love the dogs. I'm just gonna keep playing the cards of they're not my dogs.
Love that. Love that. All right. Well, we've gotten through the Brewers. Now we get to everything else. The smorgasbord with Charlie and Tommy. I'm just going to let them roll. I actually have a couple questions for Charlie. And then we're going to get that rolling and Tommy's reactions. Yeah.
Can I request that I would like to say 25 words on Victor Wembanyama at some point during this show.
You can say whatever you want at any time.
All right.
But
just had to make sure that we were getting that. All right.
Yeah. Let's do that. You definitely get Wemby words. We'll definitely get yeah. I don't know why. I feel like I don't know the story of how Charlie got here. Besides his parents making whoopee. Not that story. But the story of how he got to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. So I want to hear that story when we come back and then go from there in whatever direction that takes us. It is Memorial Day, and we honor the memory of those who gave the greatest sacrifice on this day. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Charlie Uzin. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports. No Trevor, no Josh. The Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, jalapeno bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes, available for a limited time. So get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's. I mean, it's always fun when the camera goes wonky. I had it set up the right way. Tommy, what do you think of my new hat?
Yeah. So, Mitch, have we ever determined why Josh just gets sent a bunch of Brewer stuff all the time and no one else does here?
Was that bag for Josh?
Yes.
100%
Yeah.
it was. 100%
Yeah.
it was. And
Morning show. It's a morning show thing.
That's garbage. That's all.
I didn't say it wasn't.
mean,
I didn't say it wasn't
yeah.
garbage. I just said that's like Radar and Elizabeth and Allie and DZ also get bags
yeah.
from Brewers.
Radar,
They got
the
those
Cubs
bags
fan,
before
and
Josh did.
Yeah.
Radar and DZ, both Chicago people too.
Well, I'm just telling you.
What are we doing?
Do you need me to reach out to my friends at the Brewers and educate them and get us some stuff too?
I think
No,
so.
I don't. If you got, I would like you to reach out for me on your guys' behalfs.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Done.
Yeah.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Charlie Usen here, and Tommy Wirtz is sitting in. Before we get, I had a thought. And so, as you guys know, we do our annual tailgate at the Brewers game on Memorial Day. I got 30 people coming today, and we're all on a group chat. We're texting. We were going to grill, then we weren't going to grill. Now it sounds like we are bringing the grill, but somebody's bringing like French toast casserole. Mrs. Thunder made an egg and cheese strata, which is like an egg and cheese with like bread in it. So it's kind of like a quiche, but like with bread. It's really delicious. Somebody else is bringing coffee cake and chocolate chip muffins. Somebody's bringing fruit. And so we have all the breakfast meat and people are bringing that. And then we're like, nah, we grilled yesterday. We don't need to grill today. Then some other people are like, well, let's bring the grill. And I was like, well, we used all the propane yesterday. We have a mini grill with a mini propane. But then my buddy's like, oh, I got an extra tank. So we're good. So we're going to grill. None of that is relevant to what I'm going to ask you guys. I got 30 people coming to this tailgate. I got 30 tickets on my phone. Like, isn't that like, and it's families. It's not like, dude, it's not like one-offs. Like, I'm not young like you guys where it's like, oh, one guy gets one. Like, it's families of 4, it's families of 5. So I'm sending out the tickets by 4s, but it's like, I got to make sure everybody's got the app. I got to make sure everybody can like this part of this is definitely annoying, right?
Yeah, that was why is it so? Are the companies or teams saving so much money not having paper ticket stubs? Is that really that big of a return on investment of the money they save? Why, Chuck, can't we just have paper tickets?
It's frustrating. The last game that I went to, my girlfriend, like, she couldn't get the MLB Network or MLB Ballpark app for some reason. She was trying to download it and then log into it, and wouldn't let her log into it. But she bought all the tickets for our friends and I. We had to go to the box office where you had to pay an extra $10 to get the tickets printed too. So, like, for some reason, it must be saving them some kind of money to not be printing these tickets to some degree, that they have to charge somebody $10 to still get them printed. But at the same time, like, it can't be that much money. You got to be losing money somewhere else. That's way worse than losing the money that you lose printing tickets.
This is why AI is the best, right? Major League Baseball teams save an estimated $200,000 to $500,000 annually.
That's not enough
by eliminating physical ticket printing, postage, and box office staffing costs. I do wonder, like, this one-off group that I bought, could I have asked
the Brewers?
Like, hey, could you
the Brewers save a roster spot? That's just what they just did. The Brewers save a roster spot with paper tickets.
Right. These teams are worth billions of dollars, man. That's nothing to them. Like, that cannot be that big of a deal for these teams.
I mean, it's still something in like the ticket office silo of the budget,
I guess, but not, again, it can't be enough. You would think that, again, these teams that are worth billions of dollars are putting at least $1 million into their box office and making sure that's running.
So saving $500,000 is a really big amount if it's $1 million budget.
But you can just
Mitch,
you put more money into that. Is my point.
But
Like
that-
you have enough
But
money
those,
with
but
this team.
you can, those buckets don't always share. Like that's not how it works. Like you can't take money from audit. You can, with all due respect to our friends at the Score, right? They're not sharing their millions with us, right? You can't just take money from one bucket and move it to another just because they have 14 producers per show and we have one.
Yeah, but that's also
like it just doesn't
that's
work that way.
different. Like the Brewers are all under one roof. Like these are all
Yeah,
like
but the
when we're
departments
in
are still
completely
s-
different
the
markets,
department-
completely different like parts of the country.
We're the
like,
same
that's
department.
different.
We're the same company though.
Yeah, but again, it's not all under one roof. Like it's not
Isn't
truly
it?
all really run by one person. Like Atanasio is the guy that at the end of the day decides where all this money is getting floated around within his building. Like,
I mean,
that's
he
him.
has final say, but he's not making these he's not making these types of decisions. Like,
He could.
are we hiring a part timer to work an extra
if
couple
you
hours?
wanted to
in the
say though another
box
$1 billion
office?
get put into the box office, like he could do that if he wants to. Like that's not as difficult as it is for our company to do that.
Mitch, now the real question is how many hot dogs is your group of 30 about to take down today? Because Chuck just said he only had 3 hot dogs
Yeah.
on Dollar
Yeah,
Dog
last
Day
year.
last time. It feels like you got to get to 4 for it to even be worth it to go on Dollar Dog Day, Mitch.
I agree. I don't think we are a very big hot dog group. Like we are going to the game because we tailgate and it's Memorial Day and we all get together. We don't go because it's Dollar Dog Day. So there might be a couple. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There's one of the families that usually comes isn't coming, and they have a couple teenage boys. One of the families is coming. So I think we have like 3 teenage boys and 3 teenage girls coming in this group. Nope, 4. I don't know, but like not a ton. Like I don't think we're gonna, and I don't think this is a group that's going to wait in line because the Dollar Hot Dog has its own separate line that moves quickly, but it's still pretty long generally. I would eat if I was not doing this diet that I'm doing right now. I would probably have 4. Again,
I think 4 again. 4 feels like you are obligated to get 4 on Dollar Dog Day. You can
Right.
get it for under $5.
Yes.
And they don't have
Maybe
a
5.
vendor. They don't have a vendor for Dollar Dog Day anymore.
They do, but it's like a 30, 40 person line. So it's like you got
Yeah.
it goes quick, but it's a big deal. How many dogs you gonna eat at Dollar Dog Day if you went?
I think I could get to 5, but I don't know if I could get money more than that. I think in my day I could have done 9, but
I could
yeah,
still do 9. I could still do 9, bro.
I don't think I could
Do
with
9
bread
innings?
and everything.
Yeah,
I don't
get
think
2
I
at a
could.
time. Every 45 minutes, just get 2 at a time.
No, I
You're
think I'd
eating
have
them
to
in-
go quicker.
Maybe you think you'd fill up.
It only takes
Yeah, I
for
think
like
I
the
would.
little hot dogs that they're
But
giving.
it's
it
the
only
little
takes,
hot
like, 3
dogs.
bites.
It's not
Yeah.
even like the big beef ones. It's the little ones.
Yeah, it's like 3 bites. You got it.
I'm just saying. All
I'm just telling you that I feel less confident in my ability to eat 9 hot dogs today than I did 5 years ago.
All right. Well, Tommy, what are you doing today? I know you got, Brewers baseball, but you got anything? You got any projects you got to get done before the game or anything like that?
No, I'm pretty much just relaxing. This is my off day before I go in at 11 o'clock here, so to get the leadoff show ready at noon. Potawatomi Sportsbook post game show immediately after the last pitch. You make the switch back to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, and
Maybe
other than
that movie you missed last night. Maybe tonight could be movie night.
I don't know. I've noticed that there's a few things that I have. There are a lot of things that I have in common with my girlfriend Alyssa, and that's why things work so well. And the one major difference, and I think it's because of a benefit of our industry, I am very good at A, utilizing my time, and B, when I tell you a timeline, I'm pretty on top of the ball on how long something will take, when I will be somewhere, being on time, and she is terrible at that. She just has
Okay.
no gauge of how long something will take, when will they be ready, how far it is to get somewhere. And it's something I'm great at. And I've had many conversations with Brett Andrews over at our sister station 99.1 The Mix, where you just realize how much you can get done in 10 seconds in radio. There's just, if you have 10 seconds, that is, you got plenty of time. And if you have a minute, you have an eternity. And you just very much appreciate a timeline. And that's not something I don't think a lot of other professions get to.
Interesting. I've never thought of it like that before. Huh.
I mean, it's
All right.
truthful, right? I mean, you've done plenty where you work all the way up until that buzzer, up until a clock, right? You
for sure.
have been Victor Wembanyama at half court to end a first half in your life before.
Talk to us about Wemby, Tommy.
That guy is. If the NBA came out and banned him at the end of the year, I would be like, yeah, I get it. I get why. I
He's
understand.
basically the tush push, is what you're saying.
He is the tush push. That's hilarious.
He is what the Packers think the tush push is. Yes, that is Victor Wembanyama, because that guy
He's the cheat code.
He's different. It's just never going to be seen ever before this, ever after this again. And quite frankly, if you have an argument that, I can't watch the NBA because they don't play defense, you've never seen a game with Victor Wembanyama in it. That's just not. He changes the entire plan of your defense when you are the San Antonio Spurs and your offense when you are trying to play against Victor Wembanyama. That guy is everywhere, everything, all at once, and it's a shame that he wasn't the most valuable player, because he is quite easily the best player in the world. And that shot at the end of the first half, I almost my jaw might have hit the floor.
Yeah. We would. I told the story earlier in the show. Our family just went nuts. Like, I showed it. I was watching it, kind of, and then I had to rewind. Then I showed Mrs. Thunder. Then I showed Big Rumble, and everybody was just going crazy. It was unbelievable.
Are we rooting for the Spurs?
Yeah.
To win this series for sure.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for the Knicks. No way. So I have no interest in the Knicks winning. I don't want to root for New York.
I know, but San Antonio's won a lot historically. I don't want to root for New York either, but I have a lot of friends who are Knicks fans, and they haven't won since '73. They haven't won in their lifetime. And I kind of wouldn't hate it. I think it's kind of good for basketball. If the Knicks and Spurs play, I think that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be good for basketball, and it's going to be good for the NBA. Does anybody want to see the Thunder again?
No, I think I'd rather see the Thunder win it than the Knicks win it randomly this year. Because the Knicks, I think I'd rather see a dynasty. I'd rather see a dynasty of OKC than a random ass Knicks year in the middle of all of this going on with Wemby and the Thunder and all the other talented teams over in the West, because the East stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, they made their trades with Bridges and Towns. They built Anunoby, and they signed Brunson. They built this team to win a championship. It's not like a random run that they're making. They've been making runs in the playoffs. They just haven't gotten there yet. So I don't know that it's random. It's random that Tatum was hurt and that Halliburton was hurt and that Giannis was hurt and Embiid was hurt. And every East team that, except for Cleveland, had a major injury, and Cleveland's showing what they're, I think we're all kind of disappointed that Cleveland's not showing any fight, but welcome to James Harden's world. But
yeah, that was always a bad trade, right? In the moment, you were like, what are you doing getting rid of Darius Garland for James Harden? And obviously they get farther than the Clippers, so maybe it was a victory in that trade. But no, I think I'm all in on, I just want to see Victor Wembanyama become the next greatest of all time. That guy is It's ridiculous. I don't know if he might be. It might go Jacob Mizorowski, Victor Wembanyama for the most entertaining players to watch in sports right now.
Nice. Tommy, do you remember Charlie's middle names?
Ross Thaddeus.
Right.
Nailed it.
Do you know who Thaddeus Ross is?
Yeah, the basketball player. Right?
No. That's
Thaddeus Young. That's Thaddeus
yes.
Young.
Thaddeus
Who's
Ross. He is he's the general in the Marvel universe who becomes President Ross.
I thought that was
like,
Nick Fury.
Doesn't he become the Red Hulk or whatever?
And he becomes the Red Hulk.
Yeah,
yes.
I know who he is now.
No, he was like he's Bruce Banner's girlfriend's dad, Betsy's dad.
His girlfriend's name is Betsy Ross.
Girlfriend.
That's so
it is, isn't it? Yeah.
That's so hungry.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Betty. It's Betty Ross.
That might be
Betty
worse,
Ross.
actually.
But yeah, I mean, so he's been like he was the bad guy in all the Hulk, like he was in all the Avengers movies. It was William Hurt until he passed away, and then it was it was Sam Elliott until he passed away. It was William Hurt and something. Now it's Harrison Ford. But like I was like, had your parents even heard of the Marvel universe or Marvel or anything? Nope, none of that.
Nope.
So speaking of what I'm right here. Like, what is going on? Tommy did that. Yeah. Tommy like controls StreamYard in a way that none of us understand. So like he messes up our cameras. All right.
I have the super admin. Yeah.
You do. Speaking of the evolution of Charlie and his middle name, Charlie, I never got the story of how you came to be here with Sparky. Like, how did that happen?
It was like right when Sparky was getting the station going again, when we were just in Milwaukee before we got to the network and everything. He was just going through the interview process and everything. He said he interviewed like 3 or 4 people before he had interviewed me. I was pretty fresh out of college, like 3 months out of college. I was just applying wherever I could.
Had you done radio in college?
I did.
Okay.
College radio for 3 years.
Did you do play-by-play of the football games while playing football? Because that would be amazing.
I did not.
We need more of that.
That would have been pretty
We
cool.
need actual play-by-play by the players
You
themselves.
give Micah Parsons, he does the podcast and stuff. Give him a microphone out on
Enough
the
of this
field. And just let him-
podcast garbage.
Yeah.
Athletes, stop doing podcasts. You suck.
But yeah, I just was applying for jobs. Sparky called me one day or emailed me and we were talking. I was talking about how I used to love 670 The Score growing up. It was one of my favorite stations.
Oh, you said the magic
I said the magic
words
thing
to
because then
Sparky.
he
That's
got
right.
Mitch Rosen
Exactly,
on the
then
phone right
it's
after
over.
that.
Oh,
And I was talking to him
Oh,
about
we
it.
love 670. La, 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 la.
And then we got here and
Unbelievable.
like, I don't know, just it worked really well with Sparky. I feel like one of the things I do best is I mold with people really well. And I thought me and Sparky molded really well together. So yeah, it ended up working out. Here I am 2 years later. Yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind that the smartest thing Sparky has ever done in his life is hire Charlie when he's trying to bring back a station. I mean, there is no Wisconsin Sports Radio Network as we know it if Charlie is not the second employee hired here. That is for sure. That is for sure.
I think we got
no doubt
pretty
about
damn good team here at
Sure.
the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Yeah. Good
Absolutely.
group of guys.
Well, it is Memorial Day. I know Kaz wrote a nice comment on our YouTube page, and we'll get to that when we come back and wrap things up here. It is Inside Wisconsin Sports. Not Trevor, not Josh. Oh, what I miss? Son, what?
Just an aggressive song at the time.
I just hit the buttons.
I know.
This is the complaint we have about not being able to see what song's coming, right?
It's the complaint you have.
Like heaven forbid we worked in radio and knew what song was coming next. Like, how does this not happen? Fix your station. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. You ready to go? I'm ready to go. What you gonna do?
Did you know any youth sports player can score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a Frosty? Hey, everybody. Mitch Nellis, Charlie Usen, Tommy Wirtz here with you as we wrap things up on this Memorial Day edition of Inside Wisconsin Sports without Trevor and Josh. You guys love a Frosty?
Of course I love
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Yeah. All right.
Have you
Just making-
ever gotten the vanilla?
Just plain vanilla. Yeah. That's my
Frosty?
favorite. I like that better than
Charlie,
chocolate,
why are
yeah.
you dead inside?
What do you mean? Vanilla's delicious. You guys are late.
never
It didn't
got-
even exist.
Yeah.
Okay, it never should have existed.
What do you mean?
Frosties are chocolate. That's it.
That's crazy.
Right?
No, that's not crazy.
Yeah,
that's Earth.
I mean,
that's how Earth exists.
Vanilla ice
I-
cream's delicious.
I've
You can have it.
never-
in
Vanilla
anything.
ice cream's great.
yeah,
Tell
but
me
not
about
a
it.
Frosty. I've never
No,
gotten a
Frosty
vanilla
is
Frosty.
chocolate.
Why not? Get a
Yeah,
vanilla
I will.
frosty. Try it. I dip my fries in the vanilla frosty. It's
You
delicious.
could do it in a chocolate frosty.
Yeah, you could do that in chocolate frosty, but
Right.
I like it in a vanilla frosty.
You guys are
Vanilla
both just
Vanilla
different for
Frosties
that.
should not exist. I don't dip, but my daughters do. But I agree. Vanilla Frosties never should have existed. Like Wendy's had chocolate Frosties for 783 years before they ever had vanilla Frosties, and it just that shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be a thing.
Has Sparky ever had Wendy on the show? I feel like Sparky should be the one who's able to talk to Wendy.
Like Wendy's Wemby. Oh, Wendy.
Right.
Oh,
Wendy.
He should also have Wemby on the show.
Yeah, I think he could probably pull that, swing that, right?
Yeah, why not? Hey, want to remind everybody that today is Memorial Day. It's about remembering the men and women who gave everything for our country. We are grateful. So enjoy the games, the cookouts, and the day, and the Frosties. But let's remember why we have it. Memorial Day is for those who never made it home. So let us remember all those who made the greatest sacrifice and thank them. Yeah. So it's it's important to remember why the day exists. And with that, we do turn our attention to the games and to the fun that we do have. Tommy, have a great leadoff show. Have a great post-game show. Charlie, you're the man.
You're the man.
Nicely done. Good stuff today. I'm going to go take a nap.
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Good job, boys.
How you like them apples? This has been Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Will love be there?